Hi, and welcome to the flatting section of the fourth comic that I'm working on so far. Hi, my name is Escobar. I'm a storyboard artist in the Simpsons television show. I've been working on the show for over 25 years now, and I'm here to empower you. So the flatting stage has always been a necessary evil. I kind of don't like doing it. It takes a lot of time, and it's kind of dull to do. But it's necessary because you need to be able to color the thing. But the second part of the stage that I tend to do is this is where I add the light sources, this is where I add the light and shadow, and I kind of work out the values a little bit. Well, turns out that that part of the process is extremely, extremely important to get right. More important to get right than I thought. I was just I had a general idea as to what I wanted the panel to look like as far as lighting went. But when I actually put the color in, let me just say that that I should have been paying more attention at this stage, whether or not the values were working. And I'm going to talk about what I ought to have done and what I will do in the next one so that this sort of thing doesn't happen again. Okay, so let me show you what happened and what went wrong. So as I've been doing since the last strip, which was the first time I tried this, I am doing just random colors just to separate all the flats. This is, again, I am doing this because I need to be clear as to the distinction between what shapes, where the two selections meet, and there should be some semblance of overlap. I want to make sure that they spread out a little bit beyond the line. I want the color to be underneath the line. I need to make sure that that there aren't any like little white gaps. So I'm any spaces in between the selections, so that I get a clear, clean, crisp, final selection for these graphic shapes to color. Once I did the background for the last one, I really didn't need to, the first panel, I really didn't need to do it for this because I would just use exactly the same selection. But each of the character drawings needed their own selection. So notice here, as I did before in the last, I was talking about this face, this eye in the last video. I wasn't happy with the eyes, and so even at this selection process I still stopped just to fix that eyeball. And at this point it was just like, it's okay, that's good enough. I just couldn't figure it out any better than I did, so I left it that way. Hopefully it just looks like she's looking down in her shirt and that she looks drunk enough. Hopefully, and I did add the little squiggles around her head, not the shines in here, but the squiggles, to try to like sell the fact that she is drunk. And I think I'm going back and flatting this because apparently when I fixed the eye, I completely did it without having finished flatting out the character on the top panel there. So the bottles in each of the panels are slightly different, so I also had to do that. So here's the important part, and this is where I'm going to do something completely different next time. So I knew that the light source was going to be coming from that lamp. That was the whole initial idea, was that the lamp was lighting the entire back there, and then there was a light in front of him coming from the top. Like, say that there was a lamp spotlighting him and the bar, so that the bar in the back was lit by those lamps, and then the bar itself was lit. And this is where things fell apart. One of the things that I will do next time is, first of all, I will simply get rid of, neutralize the colors so that they aren't so garish, because I think that they got in the way. I will just make a neutral a tone for both the background and the character, so that the separation of all the layers doesn't get in my way. That way, when I put in the values, I will know exactly what I needed them to be doing. Now, if you notice on the left, there is a photo, and that is what I'm actually using as my lighting reference. Like, I have a photo of a bar, and if you notice that the design of the bar itself is heavily, heavily based on that photo, where I was using it almost as a bar design in general. And so the lighting here, again, it was meant to be that there was you can see that there's a spotlight on the bar, and the background is meant to be lit from behind. And there was going to be a rim light that I was going to put on the character from the light, and there's supposed to be another lamp on the right hand side that's off screen that's also kind of shining. The thing is that had I turned off all these bright colors and just worried about the lighting, without being distracted by the fact that these bright colors were in the way, I would have been able to see right away that the lighting was fighting itself, that the main character was too bright, and then the background was also way too bright, and so these conflicting light sources made it so that the center of interest, which was meant to be the character, was getting washed out by the light. And it didn't occur to me, and I didn't see it because of the garish colors that I was selecting, that I chose for the selection layers. So next time what I'm going to do, there's a button in Clip Studio Paint which allows you just to color the layer any color you want, the items in the layer any color you want. So next time I'm going to click that button, pick a neutral gray, and then just work purely on making sure that the lighting is working, how the foreground elements and the background elements are all working. And I think that has been a struggle in the last couple of comics, that I hadn't really I've always struggled a little bit with the color, but I didn't understand why until this time, because in the next video you're going to see me really struggle with the colors. So I hope this has been helpful, and I will talk to you next time. All right, bye.